So I did the math and it come out exactly correct. If you take the total number of watts used produced on average, then you take the total phantom draw per average that it accumulated, you multiply them together, it came up to 10,021 watts consumed. It's rated at 10,040 watts. That's pretty much exact. That's awesome. Now I'm going to run an efficiency test using a large draw for the full consumption, and we'll make a comparison. All right, we're ready to do an efficiency test on the Oupes Mega 5 with the B5 expansion battery. Everybody knows with storm season getting like it is, everybody in danger of losing power. Now is the time to start thinking about what am I going to do when the lights go out. Oupes is one of the more generous with the amount of watts you get per dollar company. They're a little bit cheaper than other companies, but I, as you see, have the Oupes as the heart of my electrical system here in my van that I live in. This company has been wonderful to me. Between the quality of their products and their customer service, I have no complaints whatsoever. So we're going to go together. I have a watt meter. I'm going to take that extension cord right there that has 3 outlets on it. We're going to plug that into one of the 120 20 amp plugs. It's going to be the only thing plugged into the Oupes system completely. We're going to run a full efficiency test, all 10.1 kilowatts. Let's see how it does. I'm going to be running this 1500 watt space heater, and I'm going to be running this 100 watt refrigerator the whole time. Since they're going to be only one plug into the watt meter, it doesn't matter how many plugs is outside. The watt meter will still determine how much wattage is pulled from the system itself. We can find out how many kilowatts is pulled, so we can do a full efficiency test. We'll do the math at the end and figure it out. All right, let's get it set up. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this all night. Y'all see the watt meter plugged up. The drop cord's plugged into it. It comes over here. It's just got a couple plugs in it. I've got the fridge plugged into it. I got this heater right here plugged into it. This is going to take all night because this thing's a beast. But I'm going to let it run the whole time, and the only thing that will come from it's going to be that right there. And we're going to check back at the end and see what this right here is going to be. My guess is going to be about 8.5. That would be approximately 85% efficiency. And I've never done an efficiency test on the battery. I have on the unit itself, and I actually ended up with like almost 89%, 88 and some change. So to be safe, I'm going to say 85%. The quality level of the Oupes solar generators is on up there with the big boys, but yet the price is down in the basement. We're gonna give it the full test though. I'm gonna check in with y'all throughout the night. Times when I wake up, I'll record and show where it's at.
It's currently like 1:45 in the morning. We're running this test with the watt meter and running to check the efficiency of our Oupes Mega 5 with the V5 expansion battery. So it's been running for 4 hours now. Look at that. We're still at 90% after 4 hours of running. That I don't have it set to run continuously. I have it set to where it turns on and off the thermostat, like you would use it any normal time. The point is not to run the battery out fast. The point is first is check efficiency. Secondary to make sure that I have a good warm night's sleep with no issue. But if I wake up again, I will check it again for y'all. Alright, it is 6:15 in the morning. We got 79% left of our main battery. We have 87% left of the expansion battery. And you see, it's been doing that on and off all night. Right now, it's doing 1,542 watts. Obviously, it hasn't ran nonstop all night. It's turned on and off. But have 20% of the main, 13% of the expansion battery to have been used through the whole night. That's pretty good in my book. This test may take longer than I realized. Okay, as you see, we still got the watt meter plugged up, doing the efficiency tests on the B5 expansion battery and the Mega 5 main unit. All right, right now what I got to do is I've got to get my heavy battery out of this thing, because if y'all remember, y'all that's been with me for any amount of time, about 2 weeks ago, the hood flew up on me on the highway going 70 miles an hour and busted the windshield. Well, I'm finally getting the windshield replaced. But I am not going to leave $5,000 battery system inside this van sitting in the parking lot of a windshield place, because we're having it towed over there today and they're going to do it tomorrow. So this is going to be set in the parking lot overnight. I'm taking out the things that I wouldn't want to walk away, even though they weigh, the battery weighs 110, about 100 pounds, and the main unit weighs like 115 pounds. So it wouldn't be easy, but it's definitely doable. But we are going to continue the efficiency test. I will still have the watt meter plugged up, and we're going to drain this thing all the way down to zero before it gets unplugged. See what it does. You can see right now, according to the watt meter, we were drawing 1.589 watts. Plug's putting out 119.1 volts. It's drawing 0.9 amps. It's nothing. The lowest draw was a 0.3 watt. The highest that it seen was 1,568. 3680 is the overload for the watt meter itself. The unit can take 4,000. Currently it's taking 64 watts to run that little bit there. So with 1.589, this is at 70, this is at 80. We're still gonna keep this test rolling all the way through. We're still at 67%, 79%. I'll put the timestamp on the screen. I just looked. It was 9:42 last night when I started this right here. I've had this thing going all night. It's 11:42 now.
It's been 14 hours. All right, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We started this at 9:42 p.m. last night. We had 69% left on the expansion battery, 59% on the main unit. We've put out 2.3 hours. It says, see, 18 hours and 2 minutes is what it says. So we're gonna keep it going and see what it takes. So it's been 21 hours and 50 minutes that this thing's been going since I charged it. We've used 2.5 kilowatts. This looks like it might take a few days to run it out. All right, that's showing 1603. That's because it rolls over at 24. So it's been 40 hours and 3 minutes. We still have 33% there and 45% there. It says that we have used 3.29 kilowatts. So let's see, 33 plus 45, that's 78. So we have 78% left out of 200, let's say, because you have 2 units here. So that would mean, because see, it says 1 day, so it's 1 day and 16 hours. So that would mean we got a little over 3/4 left of a unit, which means that we should have used about 6 kilowatts and we've used 3.3. But we have a lot of phantom draw because this thing's been on for 40 straight hours. You got to take that into consideration. We have not been doing large draws. All right, it's 9:21 at night. It's been on 1 day and 23 hours and 29 minutes. We're at 3.8 kilowatts. We're at 21%. And we at 37%. Like I've said before, that phantom draw is going to eat up a lot of our stuff. But we got to realize we're fixing to hit 48 hours. This thing has been running. And you got to realize the first 13 hours, I ran a 1500 watt heater all night. Yesterday, me and my dad used a jigsaw for 2 hours on and off. And then it's ran the fridge for the whole 48 hours. I think that's pretty good. All right, the Oupes Mega 5 with the B5 expansion battery finally zeroed out. I last night had my 1500 watt space heater plugged up for the second night out of the third. It was 3 nights that this went. 2 of them I used the space heater because one of the nights my van was at the shop. So we're gonna plug this up, see where we ended up. Let's see. So, all right. Of course, there's no watts. All right, so we ended up at 6.943. So call it 7 watts out of 10.1. That does not sound like good efficiency, but you also have to consider, you see where it says 2 days and 9 hours. It means that was 57 hours that this unit ran. I'll do the math and be right back. I did the math and it come out exactly correct. If you take the total number of watts used produced on average, then you take the total phantom draw per average that it accumulated, you multiply them together, it came up to 10,021 watts consumed. It's rated at 10,040 watts. That's pretty much exact. That's awesome. Now I'm going to run an efficiency test using a large draw for the full consumption, and we'll make a comparison.